So we are doing the day's vibration, and we are going to do the 15th of the 1st, 2022. But before we begin, let's have a tea break. Beautiful ignited souls. Yes, I'm doing this because I'm thinking of the number 11. For instance, I did the numerical value for the word walk, which is 11. And so, 1 plus 1 is 2. And we're talking about road, we're talking about rock, building, or ground, meaning down, and all those symbols of unity. So I'm saying all of this. I'm expressing my gratitude for us being on this us ship together. When I say us ship, I mean united souls. Okay, so you and I, that's the double, the W. Okay, so welcome if you're new to this channel. I am Crime Queen, your partner in crime. So of course, if you're your partner in crime, we have to really sign up or subscribe to the channel and like, of course. Okay. Okay. So we are doing the day's vibration, and we are going to do the 15th of the 1st, 2022. In the middle of the month, people. It only seemed like a couple days ago when we were like, oh, is it New Year, and things are, the days are so intense and so packed with ideas, subjects, everything is so concentrated. We can't seem to tell one day from the next. So, but anyway, it's the 15th. Now, I'm actually recording this on the 14th, I have to say, which is in the night. So, more than likely that the 15th is going to get me working on this. So I'm still extracting the vibration of that day. Now, in numerical terms, of course, I really must confess there was so much to tell you about 14, where I done the numerical values, or the vibration of number 14, which of course if you go through the videos there is a lot to show. But I still wanted to say to you, for instance, of course, or remind you that we are moving into the new year when we speak of the number 5, because 1 plus 4 is 5. Anyway, we are doing the number 15. So let's look at Saturday, and then, I thought I'd just give a little introduction to get you, like, the transition, make it a little bit smooth. But anyway, let's look at number 15. Number 15 is very close to my heart, I must say. Now, of course, you would know that I come from, still going on about 14, that I come from a family of 14, and of course I'm the fifth child. So there's, a lot of that fives there, just like, Eve. I'm the Eve, if you like, or my mother was Eve in that sense, and she brought, of course, the 14 children which Jesus came out of, like the lineage of 14. So I think my mother was very much into all this. But again, we have trivialized our experiences and categorized them as like non-significant and all sorts of things. But this is what we are going back. It's like, the serpent when it does that. Okay, so Saturday. What's the vibration for Saturday? What we do, we look at the day when we look at the date. So basically, it's the date's vibration, I really should say. But let's look at the day here, which is 1 1. I'm still trying or asking for the big significance of this SA, because I feel there's something more significant about this, in as much as I know that the S represents the serpent anyway. It represents all of life, if you like, or the number 8 in essence. But it's just that broken thing that helps us to make sense of our world, like contrast. Okay, so anyway, it's 239417. So I hope you can see this. Okay, so of course I thought I would use this for contrast with the blue, but let's see. Okay, so this is, let's see, this is 9 here and this is meant to be 4. Okay, 4. All right, so 8, 12, 21, 26, 27, 28. So Saturday is 28, which is like the seed. I said a lot about number 10 as well. And number 10, of course, seemed to be showing up just like number 8 was showing up. I think most of the numbers show up, not so much 4 unless we are in 2, or doing the vibration for 2, because 4 has this way of hiding, if you like, because it's the foundation, it's the pillars for everything else to be built upon. So okay, but there's another way I am constructed to actually do this when we have a word form, because the word is like as though it was the female who was giving birth, and to show her the potentiality, or not just potentiality, but what she's birthing at that time or in this state. So like the US, United Souls. So it's 28. Okay, now you may say I don't do this, or in most of the presentations. But again, this is something I'm divinely guided to do now, which everything is given for a time and season. And because we are in this new creation, this double vibration, of course, like 2/8, if you like, where we are given the first commandments to be fruitful, multiply, subdue, have dominion, and there is another one, replenish. Okay, I didn't say them in order, but I am looking forward to doing a series of presentations on this, because again we're speaking of 5. Okay, so Saturday of course has 6, 7, 8 letters. I like to do the letters because 8 of course is just like I was saying, it's the symbol of the S, is like the symbol or half of 8 or so. So 8 of course we is like all of creation, in the sense of the 8. Behold, the man has become like us. Now, note in the scriptures, I'm speaking biblical here, and for those of you who are not aware of this text, it's just talking about where Adam and Eve, they ate of the fruit, and of course we're still trying to figure out what fruit it was, but an apple seemed to be the most fitting, because apple is the numerical vibration of 5. No one really tells you that, but I'm telling you, not only that it equals 5, it has 5 letters, APPLE. Yeah, I had to count, yeah. So that as well was giving the vibration of 10. So 10, of course, has the numerical value. Of course, when we do the numerical value of 3, we'll go into this, but also it 10 is the masculine and feminine, and that is showing us the emblem of creation right there. It's the man and woman, or it's the hard and soft. It's all the polarities for creation, basically. Okay, so the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. Ooh, okay, so we are looking at 15. Why 15? Why I'm so excited about 15? I'm not going to go all into it, but 15, yeah, I was going to do something first with the 28, wasn't I? That shows how excited I am about 15. Okay, let's look at 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. We have established that. So we are going to do the numerical value for 2, which is TWO. Of course, this is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then 8. EIGHT. Of course, they ate it. And of course, 8 is actually, this is really like a little crazy, what is coming here, what I'm already sensing. And 8 is actually 31. Now, I'm not doing all these, all the workouts, because we might be here till Christmas. It does take a little time, but for those of you who are new, so we would have each letter is associated with a numerical value, like all these are one, all these are two, and so on until we get to what I call the inland revenue. So basically, I call this jazz, I call this bucket, luck, development, new, Forks, Gypsy Journey, Headquarter Zone, and Inland Revenue. And trust me, even when I did it in word form, I feel that it came to the same numerical value as all what there is, which was, I think, 10 or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to try and, in fact, in my early days, I'm amazed with the stuff that came. My older videos have such, they're really delicious, basically. They're apples that you hadn't seen before or tasted before. Okay, so here we'd have 5, 9, 7, 8, 2. And that's how we add all these. And this comes to 31, of course. I've done it before, so I remember. I'm not just counting now. I've done it several times. So, of course, this is 44. And here we are talking about 4 plus 4 is 8. So, you can see that through Saturday, which we call the seventh day of the week. Now, of course, we know things have changed over time or whatever, but remember, everything is for a time and season. I have given the days and years for times and seasons and something like that. So, creation is happening the way it's meant to, because it's like a game. Life is a game, and it's as if that there were a few people who kind of figure it out after coming through how many lifetimes or whatever it is. They may have left YouTube videos, but they call them a different name in a different realm and a different code in a different language. But some people figured it out. And so they change things a little. It's like a puzzle. And they break the pieces down again and look, take that and deal with that. Let the next generation, let's see how smart they are. Let's see how quick they can figure this out. But this is what has happened. A lot of things have been left in plain sight. And this is what we are now understanding, that for instance, Saturday being like in Adventism, they call this the day of rest. Now, is it by chance that the word Sabbath, the day of rest, equals 17 just as God? Is it? Ventis may have had, I think, quite a good point on that, in the sense of that God rested on the seventh day. And so we call this the seventh day, don't we? Although I consider the first day as in Thursday, the first day. But let's just say, this is what we have, this is how we relate, this is what we use language, the gift of language to communicate. And thereby, this is what we are reverberating and giving energy to. So, 8, of course, when we see this comes to 8, of course, we could see that it is because God rested. Here's the thing, RESTED, which is 4521159. This is 10, 15, 20, 24, 26. So 26, of course, which is God. 2 plus 6 is God. Just like 17 is God. Any 8 is God. So you can find 8. And that's why they ate. The couple ate. And then God said, which is the God within you, and so on. And God said, oh, behold, the man has now become like us. The man has become, behold, the man has become like us. Man actually equals 10, right here. So the man on the Saturday, the day of rest, which is the day of resting, is when people, male and female, tend to get together. They may call it rest, or majority of people call it rest. They go to sleep because this is lying down, and they get up and actually they make it. They make 8 because they conceive. So the 8, of course, comes out of the womb, which also equals 8. And it's protrudes. Okay, you get the picture. So, we have looked at Saturday here, and so perhaps I would say Seventh-day Adventists actually might have had a point here, but a point that there is more to life than just the point, isn't there? So, who's holding the point or who's pointing the point? All of those things we have to consider that creation is happening simultaneously in all of us, just that we are demonstrating or illustrating the parts or attributes of creation seemingly in different ways, as though you were an arm and the other person was a foot, or there's one who's some toes and toenails, and they protect you for a while, but after a while you've got to clip them out, and dispose of them because they've served their time. Some are teachers, some are lawyers, some are hairdressers, but it's all really for the greater good and performing the task of the whole. Okay, so we have done Saturday, and I feel Saturday as the number 8. Here we see, as we would say, 8 is like where you go into headquarters zone. I call this headquarters zone, and of course you can see that there's the letter C here. It comes into that ice place here, but actually headquarters zone, I attribute this is where you go and pay your dues. So if two people were to lie down together, whatever it is, they're paying their dues to each other or whatever. You here is where you make your record. Again, if two people or lie down, or where the word lie actually equals 8, so when you lie down or when the word is someone lies, or even the word, as I say, lie, they have to pay in headquarters zone. That is where the 8 plus 8 comes, because again, there's the law of attraction. 8 plus 8 is 16, and 1 plus 6, there's 16 minutes on the clock. And 16, 1 plus 6 is 7. That's the seventh day of creation right there. Everything is just wrapped up into a ball. Okay, so let's go on to 15. Oh, I'm so excited about 15. Now, 15 is really the devil's number in the tarot. And of course, that is in the middle. Because when you are like pig in the middle, like sometimes I used to consider myself like that, being the fifth child of 14 children, although I'm the fifth, but I would feel, and of course it's not like the two sevens in the middle of 14, but I often felt like pig in the middle. It's like I have to be in the middle, or I could have been in the middle of an issue I have no dealings with, when I was younger. Oh, why don't you go and tell them? Because I'm actually in a position in the middle. It's all like the middle. And so it's those things are really serving to help you understand your makeup. Who are you? Who are you? Who am I? So I actually one year looked at my driver's license, my passport, the dates I travel, my all things that were birth certificate, names, and I done this numerical thing, and I realized even when I changed my name, I still had the same numerical values, and so but I got to understand who I am. I am a creative expression of life, in case you're wondering. But you shouldn't be wondering because we're all on the same boat. We just, on the earth shape. Okay. So 15 again. So 1 plus 5 is 6, and 1, and this is also 6. So here we see 13. This gives us 13. Did we just see like 2? The number 2 gives us 13. Or we could say 8 when we did the numerical value for 8, that gave us 31, which is where, as in 8, I'm going back and forth here. Just bear with me because I'm doing Eve, I'm the serpent, the back and forth. This is where Christ said on the clock, on the last words, if you like, I was going to say on the clock, on the cross. He said, Father, Father, Why hast thou forsaken me? That was the calling here. Again, that is forming or calling that vibration of number 8. Father, Father. 31, 31, that is 62. 6 plus 2 is 8. That is the correlation here. Remember the 8 at the table, and then there's the other 8. A little bit like China. You know, the China broke. The word virus equals 8, and the word China equals 8. Buddhism equals 8. So there is a lot of, where you see this 8 8. So be conscious of what you eat or what you ate or whatever it is, because that is actually seed of creation. You are what you eat, whether it's words, whether it's breath, because the word breath actually has the word eat in it. The word earth has the word eat in it, or your heart. That's why they say eat your heart out. So we use those words, but we need to be thinking of them. Okay, so here we are looking at 13, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So we can say, now that coincides with the presentation I did yesterday, because 14 days was like our 14 days of quarantine, where it's like an incubation, you could say. Like we were incubating, although 40 is actually the real incubation period. The word, and I mean period, but here we see that it's like many cycles on top of cycles. It's like a seed, or the cell, to be more precise. It's like the cell splitting, because the word cell is actually 14. So we have 5 5 here, and that is 10. And that's exactly what Adam was about. 10. The word Adam, or name Adam, is 10. And so we saw he was 1 4 1 4, and adding this together is 10. And of course, it's like out of the darkness. Adam would be having the relationship with the word darkness, because darkness equals 10. Now, people, hear this. I'll just give you this, because to show the power of Saturday, it's like the word Sat is there. Oh, but it's really meant Saturn, the Saturn day. Like Saturn consists of the dark, if you like, of course, and the light comes out of the darkness. So it's Saturn day. And so, here, because we're speaking numerology, we won't go too much into astrology or anything like that. So, darkness, actually, DARKNESS, is actually, I think it's actually 28 as well. This is 10, 14, 14, 15, 16, and 26, 27, 28. Exactly 28. So 2 plus 8, you see, Saturday, darkness, right here, people. Yes. So that would be 10. But also, we have words like where every Christian wants to go to, heaven, which is actually 6 letters as well, 6 numbers of creation here. And so this is 10, this is 15, this is 20, 28, exactly the same. So wherever you make your heaven, people, it doesn't mean that it has to be, of course, heaven would have to feel light. It would have to feel light, but it can be in the darkness of the night when you curl up in your bed and the lights are off. You know what it's like. It's all dark, but you feel like you're in heaven. Again, you have actually anchored onto the vibration of polarities, which is perfect here. People think it's just when, it's all bright and light and so on, or they see that physical light, it's heaven. Heaven is a state of being right there, like in darkness, like it's Saturday, or like Saturn day. Okay, here's the other one now. HELL, which is, of course, another. So we have 8, 5, 3, 3. So this is 11 and this is 19. So 1 plus 9, which is here, 1, 9, which is sacrifice. Perhaps the wonder 19 might seem more appropriate for hell as that state of pain or sacrifice anyway. Yeah, so you're in hell, but it actually, the L, we could see the L god is in the middle here. The L god I associate with hair, the new, which Mother Eve, or even the fox, which has number 6. But 3 fives are 15 and 1 plus 5, here we have this. So basically what I'm saying here for the number 15, just to get some clarity and some we've left Saturday. I hope you get that. Now with 15, we get here that 15 is in the middle of the sacrifice template, the middle of the month. The month is like the mouth. So it's the middle right here. Whatever is that goes in, it's the mouth, it's bitter, it's tasty, it's sweet, it's sour, whatever it is, but it does give you the opportunity to actually become new because you have now been in a position to make new decisions or directions, go left or right. But the point is, once you hit that mark, you are new. This is why Christians say, oh, when you're in Christ, Christ is 5, you are a new creature. They never told you what the creature is. In fact, you are a new creature. Now, of course, that is the other thing. You get a lot of Christians would say, oh, I am not I am the head and not the tail. There is something like that. People would say a lot of. That means that there is a hierarchy or there is a significance to being better, that you are the head and not the tail. But here, this creature has got a tail, it has got a head, it is whole, it is new. It actually had taken off its skin. Of course, that's the serpent, I have to say. That's the serpent, that's Mother Eve. That's Mother Eve. That's the mother who takes on all the different roles to keep her child happy. Or have your father said that you shouldn't do this, but it's just to get you, to entice you to, well, I think your father is being a little bit hard, and just like getting you, that kind of thing. Okay. But again, like I was saying earlier, is that I think the gods are itching my nose. So I thought, oh, what do they want me to know? Okay, it's like, remember I was saying before as well, I'm doing the serpent, that when God said, behold, the man have become like us, the God did not say, behold, the woman have become like us. Behold, the man have become like us. Who was the us that he was referring to? Could he mean him and or God and the Eve? So I'm trying to say here with Eve, people, I'm saying again, Eve is said to be the mother or was the mother, and whatever was, WAS, is as well. It just really means the W is as whatever is, whatever that means. Okay, and so and didn't say so. Basically, was saying that Eve really, the mother of all living, was God, goddess, mother, and all there is, the Eve of what exists before any event takes place. We still use this, but we give very little significance to the essence of evening, the eve before a wedding, the eve before anything happens. What happens in that eve is there is a gap. There is a gap of darkness, if you like, or that you go in and this is where you make your decision for yes or no, or I'm walking or I'm doing something, but it definitely calls for action. So, okay, let's look at now, even with the word 15, I'm not going to go too much into this, but even the word 15 actually gives you 11, which is your master number. And this is why Saturn actually works us so hard to get our mastership, certificate, if you like, to get on the us ship. So here we are talking about, so we now had 13 and of course 10. So 13 plus 10, just to get the overall essence of that. But I still want to talk a little bit more on here, which is 23. Now, what have I been saying, people? 23 is actually 5. The reverse or the mirror image of 32, which is Christ. And of course, I will put up my list as usual of this yellow thing that you may see with all these handwriting words. They all equal 5, like Kundalini, like pink, or key, lock. That's why they were able to, well, we've been locked down, lock and key, and 5. So it's the number of change. You get the essence right here. This is the key. This is where we have done like on Boris Johnson. So Boris would have the end for Boris and beginning. So he actually came into that position. I did a numerical thing on him, which but really came in time to show about the 2020, that death number that he came in as beginning and end. And that's why now there is all this power or pressure for him to resign now, because he comes into that 14, which he is doing his mastership program, if you like, on or certificate with number 14. Okay, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So this is the crucifixion. You could say he's being crucified right now. Yeah, like Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, so let's look at this here. So we had this as, again, speaking of the crucifixion, this was 13, and of course 13 was just like Jesus Christ and the 12 disciples, people. Now of course Jesus got crucified and Judas hanged himself, so there were 11 people left. And the 11 disciples, actually, they carry the emblem of having to do their masters. Again, that's the master number 11. They represent that master program. And that's what we all have this to some extent, but we need to figure it out. So not to make this too much of a long video, I don't think, in fact, it could be too much, but I know that this can be a little bit concentrated, in the sense that there is no one else teaching this. Like, I haven't come across anyone doing this, so this may be a little bit new to you, and of course you want to be able to digest it, like I would say, the deliciousness of it. And so what happened to our tea time today? I just realized, time for a tea break. Oh, people, yeah, I hope you remember to have your tea. Okay, so it's tea time. So when you're in Christ, you're a new creature. This is number 15. Of course, one is here where the serpent is doing the jazz. And of course, number 6 is the number where, of course, the year is a year of impregnation. This is where we call about concentration, incubation. All this is happening here. This is actually the 13 here is in the middle of the month, is actually saying that this is a crucial year. So how do we use this? What sense can we make of this? Is that whatever you're doing with yourself or someone, or however you may face this, find yourself having some equilibrium. Try and get some equilibrium. Wow, this pen is, what's happening here? Okay. And because this actually is like the symbol of agreement. When Jesus said, when you take this, eat, break of the bread, drink of the wine, when you do this ritual, do it in remembrance of me. Now, I have said a lot about this ritual because, of course, again, Christians do go on about people having blood sacrifices and so on. A lot of us do talk about this, but where did it derive from, people? Where did it derive from? Where is all this? When you eat this bread, when you eat it, this is my body. Whenever you do it, think of me, basically. But when Hindu do the same thing to the 14 gods, or even whether it was 43 million gods, because 43 is really Genesis, it's the same thing, people. It's the same thing when they break the bread and they do it in remembrance, but the Christians are criticizing the Hindus for this very same thing. The bond that happened through the whole thing is about the Last Supper. When you drink of it, they do the rituals. So, okay, anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Please like and subscribe and share and stay ignited.